Thank you, Lourdes. Thank you, Lauren. Welcome to VCCF's Virtual Lunch and Learn. Today's topic is Veteran Services in Ventura County, and we're so happy to have you here today. My name is Colleen Pardinas. I'm the Director of Philanthropic Services at the Ventura County Community Foundation. I'm very excited to introduce our first speaker, Mr. Tony Briggs. He is the Executive Director at U.S.VETS, the location here in Ventura. He's an experienced leader serving for more than 35 years in the military and supporting roles. He has joined the Navy in 1989 as a photographer's mate and retired in the senior leadership role as Chief Petty Officer. After his service, Briggs spent 11 years with the American Red Cross, deploying some of our largest disaster responses across U.S., including Hurricane Harvey, Irma, Michael, California's Camp Fire, and the mass shooting at Route 91 Harvest Festival in Las Vegas. In 2019, Briggs was named the regional CEO of the Red Cross and oversaw activities for 3 regions throughout the West and the Pacific Islands. Briggs, who earned his degree in communications from University of Maryland University College, holds certificates in Six Sigma Quality Improvement and Certified Diversity Coach. Active in his community, Briggs is a member of several nonprofit boards and is a consultant for nonprofit professionals. He and his wife, Kelly, have been married for more than 35 years and are proud parents of 5 children. The couple enjoys spoiling their 4 grandchildren. So, Tony, thank you so much for joining us. We're so happy to have you here today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Goodness, when you give that bio, I don't know who you're speaking about, but I would love to speak about what the U.S. Vets team is doing here in conjunction with some partners. I think some of the things that we do here are fantastic, and it really does talk to what's really important, and that's veterans taking care of veterans. So to start us off, again, my name is Tony Briggs, and I am the program director here at U.S.VETS Ventura. Next slide, please. So Kayleen talked about some of the things that I've done, and I think that really does speak to the fact that I understand what our veterans go through, and the more I get to be with them, the stronger the bond is and the stronger the drive is for me and my team to reach out to be there for our vets. Next slide. So about U.S. Vets, our mission is to prevent and end veteran homelessness. We really do believe, like everyone else in this space, that the people who defend our streets should not be living on them. And what we do is we try to make sure that we are the people who will put our arms around a veteran who is experiencing homelessness. We'll put our arms around them. We will be with them from the time we meet them until the time they are no longer with us. If that is the choice that they want to make, we make ourselves available. U.S. Vets was founded in 1993 when LA Circuit Judge and Marine Corps veteran Harry Pregerson wanted to do something after hearing that unhoused veterans had passed away in the streets of Los Angeles. So our mission here is simple. Over the last 20 years, this nation has looked at veteran homelessness, and we've all come together to decrease homelessness by 80%. And we are happy to play our part in helping veterans find a home to call their own. On the slide here is a photo of Justin, who just moved in about 2 weeks ago. He's a Navy vet, and he is putting his life back together, and we're so proud to be here to help him in his journey. Next slide. Here's our values. As you see our values, they're actually actions. And our values are what we do for our veterans, for our partners, and for anyone that a U.S. Vets person comes in contact with. For us, They're actions because they're things that we are trying to do every single day. If we are instilling hope, if we are embodying loyalty and prioritizing partnerships and pursuing excellence, for us, it means that everything that we do is trying to make someone else's life better. Next slide, please. And here's our footprint. We are very much concentrated in California. We have several locations in Arizona. We stretch out to Washington, D.C., and we have an office in Houston, and we have a very large complex in Las Vegas, Nevada. The Ventura site, which is called Ventura Springs, is the newest site in our portfolio. I am super happy to be the one who has been blessed to lead this team. We've been here for about 2 years, and we're just plugging away. Next slide. So we know there's a need, and here are some of the reasons that we have seen some veterans become homeless. While I won't read them, I will share one that's not on the slide. Many times when I speak to veterans who are here, we get to talking, and I ask, so tell me your story. And for some, the reasons are right there on the screen. But the one that I keep hearing over and over again that just makes me stop is, I kind of lost my way after my mom passed. And for me, that just speaks volumes. And while this is a PSA, but if you do have your parents here with us, give them a call. You don't realize just how much of an anchor they are. So I've seen it here firsthand with many of the veterans here, where they lost their anchor, the person that them stay strong. So, sidebar, please, if you get the chance, say hi to your mom, say hi to your dad. But we know we have a need. We know that this job is never going to be done until the nation understands, until we prioritize making sure that those who have taken the oath to defend this country are well taken care of after they've taken off the uniform. Next slide. So this is how we serve, from outreach to sheltering and then to aftercare. So for us, for outreach, we are actually out in the community. We partner with folks like Becky here with Gold Coast, and we go out to where the veterans are and we talk to them. And sometimes they're not ready. Sometimes they're really they're almost there. And what we do is we try to maintain a relationship with them because we believe that being consistently involved with them gives them the opportunity to build trust. And then when we're building that trust, we show them what the possibilities are in the hopes that they will take the help that's offered to them. And for sheltering, U.S.VETS does a lot of different things from transitional to bridge to permanent housing. And here in Ventura Springs, we specialize in permanent housing. When a veteran comes to Ventura Springs, they can stay here for the rest of their life. And that is what we're hoping for. We're hoping that they want to stay here. We try to give them things as far as services and outreach things that they can come to our community room, that they can be part of just the community of veterans and folks who are, like-minded, so they can let their guard down, so they can, have fellowship with one another and that they can grow. And when they get to grow, the community as a whole grows. And in aftercare, for us with aftercare, we actually reach out to veterans that aren't housed with us, that still need some, one-on-one with a caseworker. And we work with them for 6 months at a time to make sure that their intermediate needs are being met. Next slide, please. So again, we are U.S.VETS Ventura. We are a 120 unit permanent supportive housing complex on 9 acres. We have more than 200 folks here, And we are 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms because we are here for veterans and for veteran families. We do have a few people here who are from the general public who fit the Section 8 qualifications. But as we look at it, it's about 90-10 veterans to civilians. And it was done that way purposefully because what we're doing is we're making sure that this community encases veterans and it has civilians, and then we all come together as one big happy family. When we get veterans here, they are referred to us by the county. We have a no wrong door approach. So if someone presents at any of the groups that you're going to see today, we all meet together and we have a by name list. And when it's time for that veteran to move into the apartment, we're more than happy to help them move in and get them their keys and help them along the way. Next slide. So this was our impact report for 2025. The numbers there are fantastic, and the fact that this is just our second year being here. We've grown as far as the things that we offer. And I think the thing that really makes me happy is that we have grown in the fact that our veterans have grown to trust us. When you are experiencing homelessness or close to experiencing homelessness, your world is very small and your trust circle is small. And I know through the work that we've done here, we've gotten them to dip their toe in the water just a little bit to see what goes on, and they're plugging in, and that makes me super happy. Next slide. So now comes to how you can help. We would love to take your time, your treasures, or your talents and connect them with services that we have here. If you're an artist and you can paint, we'd love to have a paint night. We'd love to have a paint afternoon where our veterans can come in and express themselves artistically. If you would love to support us financially, of course, we're a nonprofit. We're never going to say no. Or if there's some services that you or your company could offer to our veterans, we would love to speak with you. My contact information will be a few slides from now, but I would love to speak with you to find out how we can connect to fill your bucket and to fill the buckets of our veterans. Next slide. And of course, we have merch. I am wearing our Honor Vets t-shirt. If you take a picture of the QR code, you can go to our online store and you can support the veterans who are right here in Ventura County. All of the monies that are collected for this area stays in this area, which is fantastic. And this is a fantastic way for people to come alongside of us and to up your thread game. Next slide. So that's my contact information. You can connect with us on social. We'd love to have you as a friend or as a follower or as a stalker. Again, we are so happy to be a part of this Lunch and Learn. And thank you so much to everyone for taking the time to learn about U.S.VETS. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you. I wanted to open up to the group really quick. Any questions, comments, shares? I see a lot of claps. Yay. We'll definitely share Tony's contact information with our follow-up email as well.
I'll ask a question. It's Linda
Hi,
Braunschweiger.
Linda.
Tony, how are the residents at Ventura Springs settling in? Are they using our community library? And how are you seeing their progress to stability?
Hi, Linda. Great question.
Hi.
The library, we decided to put the library inside because it was just so nice and we didn't want to see Mother Nature destroy it. So it's inside in the community room. Everybody has access to it. What we've been doing is we've been opening up the community room every day to make sure that people have the opportunity to come in. One of the gifts that we received was a pool table from, I believe, 1906. We had a lot of fun putting it together and it's available. We see people shooting pool. We've got a large screen TV with movies. Thank you so much to Gold Coast for your DVD donation. we had to go out and go find a DVD player, which was kind of fun. We went to a few different we went to a few different places to find some used, and none of them worked. So good old Amazon came through. But we're going to start a movie night on Fridays. So we're doing the things to get them in, and like I said, it's a slow process, but they see that I'm a veteran, and I came in and cooked a Fourth of July lunch for everyone, and we're just trying to get them to see that we're here to help.
Well, thank you for all you're doing out there.
Thank you for all your support.
Tony, if you don't mind, I have a question. What kind of wraparound services are provided, or do we hope to provide soon in the future?
So we offer casework to everyone, whether they are a veteran or a civilian. So that's one-on-one casework in conjunction with the VA for our veterans. And our casework really is connecting them with services. It is an ear, because a lot of times some of our residents here are just lonely. They want someone to hear the story that they've told 7 times in the last 2 weeks, and we're here for that. We have 2 caseworkers here, and hopefully we'll be able to hire another one. We are looking to add to our team in bringing on a veteran services coordinator. And one of the hopes that we would have is a van so that we can take people to doctor's appointments or to other things that they may need, because some of our veterans don't have vehicles. But we've done a lot of things to connect people with things, as far as working with Gold Coast to make sure that if someone needs a ride somewhere, they have volunteers that can do that. But our wraparound services are really everything that everyone here needs to thrive.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And Tony, in your presentation, you mentioned one of the top reasons that veterans may enter into homelessness is the transition from being in the military to civilian life, which was a perfect transition into our next speakers with the Veterans Mentor Project. I'm happy to introduce James Espinoza. He is the president of the board and program director. James is a co-founder of the Veteran Mentor Project and a U.S. Army veteran, retired law enforcement leader with more than 20 years of public service. James brings extensive experience in leadership, mentorship, public policy, advocacy, and community engagement. James holds a Master of Science in Law Enforcement and Public Safety Leadership from the University of San Diego. He's committed to veteran and first responder wellness and was profoundly shaped by the loss of his brother, retired Army Lieutenant Colonial Ponce Espinoza, to suicide in 2018. That experience strengthened his resolve to create meaningful support system to those navigating transition, trauma, and recovery. His service and advocacy have earned recognition from both local government and public safety organizations for outstanding leadership and community impact. Along James today, we're also joined by Dr. Shauna Springer. Doc is a licensed psychologist, award-winning Military Times podcast host, 4-time best-selling author, and nationally recognized expert in psychological trauma, moral injury, suicide prevention, military transition, and relationship health. A Harvard graduate and trusted doc to the warfighter and first responder communities, she has spent more than 20 years helping individuals and organizations build capacity for peak performance and thrive through adversity. A sought-after keynote speaker and media contributor, Dr. Springer has been featured in more than 300 media engagements and is a regular columnist for Police One and Crackle. I hope I pronounced that right, a firefighter magazine. Doc is widely recognized for translating complex psychological challenges to actionable solutions that strengthen individuals, families, and communities. So Doc and James, we are so happy to have you here on the call today. Go ahead and take it away.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me go ahead and share my screen here. Make sure I get to the right one. Give me a second. All right. Can everybody see the team presentation, team veteran for VCF?
Perfect. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. much like Tony, hear the bio and I look around and say, who is that guy? I guess that's me. I do a lot of things in the community. I retired from law enforcement about 2 years ago. In a second, I'll also introduce our team. In the interest of time, we want to really focus on the product delivery of what we're doing and kind of what we're going to be doing here in the next 3 years. So today I have three goals. That QR code goes directly to our website. That is the best way to contact us right now, that we're trying to track the contacts, the initial contacts of people who have interest. So today I intend to share with you our story. We're going to teach you a little bit about what we do. At the very end, we have a call to action. So without further ado, I want you to introduce my brother. He was a retired Army Lieutenant Colonel, did 25 years combined West Point and U.S. Army. He had multiple deployments. He went to Kuwait, Iraq, or not Iraq, Afghanistan, Bosnia. He served in Hawaii, Germany, Japan, and also stateside. So all around a great dude. Unfortunately, we did lose him to one of the 22, which was a reference to veteran suicide. Um, and because of that happened back in 2018 during my grief journey and my experience in law enforcement and being a crisis intervention team trainer. I was a SWAT crisis negotiator. I was a gang detective, homicide detective. All these things all of a sudden became not so important as this mission that we have to save veterans, sometimes from themselves. So for 5 years, we have prepared for this relaunch, which occurred in June of this year. June 15th, we had a soft relaunch. We went through a 5 year competitive grant process that started in January of 2021. We proposed this idea to the Ventura County Innovations Grant Program. We were early on selected in the top three. Fast forward 5 more years, and we had the grant fully ratified by the County of Ventura in April of this year. So we spent the better part of 3 months relaunching, and now we're into our first month, and I'm happy to report we will exceed our first month goal of 8 veteran mentees. We have 10, and I think we have over 15 to 20 mentors trained through our 2 hour cohort program. And, this is just the start of a 3 year project. So some recent successes about what we've been doing. Last year, we jumped in on a VCCIE grant, which is a Ventura County Community Information Exchange, which is over 1,300 local resources, which also expands our reach to be able to provide additional services to veterans that we may come in contact locally. With that caveat, we help veterans nationwide. I will tell you there's a nationwide need for this, and regardless of branch of service, their location in the United States, or their time away from service, we support them. So we raised well over 50,000 over 5 years. It's probably double that. I don't have an exact number. This was just through grassroots efforts. So now, fortunately, we do have a grant. I'm not going to read every one of those lines in the interest of time, but we have participated in a very fun VA and Ad Council campaign that you might have seen on the NFL Network over the last 2 years. My wife and I were part of a suicide prevention campaign. And most recently, we were awarded a $2.365 million grant from the innovations program. The big caveat to that is it's a reimbursement grant. So we have to have a dollar to get reimbursed a dollar. And that's why we still ask for donations and we still ask for volunteerism. This is our team. I'm the current president of the board, program director, and co-founder of the program, along with my wife, who has a multiple subject teaching credential, which is through the Simi Valley Unified School District. She recently retired from teaching, or has left teaching to join us as a case manager. She's also an Army veteran. She's a co-founder of the organization and has been our historic executive director. She's now the case manager. Doc Springer is our clinical supervisor and program senior advisor. Two separate roles that she provides for us to provide the leadership. As you heard, her extensive resume provides us outstanding leadership, and the support and guidance she gives us is actually priceless. I don't think we could ever really truly pay what she is worth for our organization, and that is part of what we are looking toward growing as we build our budgets and we build our staff. Frank Padilla, he's a local retired Ventura police officer. He and I worked together on the mean streets of Ventura there, which are now very kinder and gentler. And I appreciate what you're doing, Tony, because in Ventura we did experience a high degree of homeless population, and sometimes we did come across veterans. And back in that time, there was no place to really take them. So we appreciate what you're doing out there, Tony. So our vision at the Veteran Mentor Project, really, again, you're all able to read, but I'm going to read only the vision. I'll let you read the mission yourself. So our vision is to help veterans and first responders survive the invisible weight of service by building trusted peer connection, restoring purpose after uniform, and creating communities where warriors are no longer left to carry trauma, grief, and isolation alone. You'll notice I capitalize the word warrior in this because we go from just saying veteran, first responder, combat vet, non-combat vet to grouping all of us in the same category. We are warriors. We signed up to serve and protect our communities and our nation. And from that angle and standpoint, we extend that warrior title to family members through our services, which I'll discuss briefly. So the program by design is designed by this idea of the 5 pillars of wellness. We got mental wellness, physical wellness, financial wellness, relationship wellness, and career wellness. These are ideas and concepts that came to me as I did a psychological autopsy of sorts on my own brother's death by suicide. So if you look at the green foundation of wellness, with green I associate to a supportive and successful color, blue being a calm, supportive color, that gray area of transition, those pillars are supporting that gray area of transition upward towards success. That is the foundation of our program. Now, how do we do that, you might ask? So we ask our mentors to focus on educating, empowering, and encouraging our mentees. So they do that by providing education on resources and knowledge of the world outside of the military. We empower them to make their own decisions by providing that education and not holding their hand. We want them to come up with their own solutions, and then we encourage them along the way. With that said, for the mentees, we ask them to be curious, coachable, and confident. We want them to be curious about the world outside of the military, their options, the things that they have uh, at their disposal now. There are so many resources available. It's just a matter of tapping into some to get a push in the right direction. We want them to be coachable. Most of the time, we know they are because they've served in the military or as a first responder, and we know they're coachable. They've had reasonably successful careers. We want to be able to coach them from a mentoring standpoint. To be clear, we are not coaches from a paid sense. We are a volunteer organization, except for our paid executive staff. And then we want them to be confident. We want to help them be confident in their decisions. And even if they have to pivot out of a decision, that we try to provide additional education to help them come up with additional resources. So if you look at those pillars as a visual, when one pillar collapses, others often follow. So I think we've all seen this in one way or another, whether financial leads to mental or physical leads to financial issues, they're all kind of interconnected. So we help them identify which pillars are needed to need attention, and then we shore them up with them to help them lead to a successful transition. So Doc, I think you might be up on this next portion of why do we serve, or who do we serve? I'm sorry, I can't read my own slide. Doc, did you want to take it from
Sure.
here?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, James. Okay, nice to be here. Let's just jump in. So we serve veterans, regardless of their discharge status, first responders, and immediate family members we see as people with a warrior spirit. It's no coincidence that veterans marry people with a strong spine, and first responders as well. Like they attract and pair with and hold relationship with people who have their own warrior spirit. And we want to serve family members. It's a differentiator for us. Tony, I heard that you do as well. We think that's great, and we're very much aligned around you have to do family member support as well. And Becky, I know that you do as well. Um, so we really are focused on transitional challenges, people in all walks of life, regardless of when they separated. Now, this is another differentiator. We're not like a rigid, you have to be within 6 months of your military separation. Transitional challenges come sometimes 5 years, 10 years. I had Vietnam veterans that I served who, you know what? I just heard from one today. This was so fun. I haven't heard from him in 10 years. This patient of mine from the VA, 10 years ago, sent me an email, just found me and said, "Hey, doc, I'm doing well. Still focused on transitioning." You know, it's a perfect solution. This veteran's very precious to me. I had one chair in my office, and I gave him my chair. Like that's like I'm having a good day because he reached out to me and he's good, he's alive, and we're gonna have a virtual coffee here at some point. But 10 years out and still kind of working on transitional challenges. What could that look like? It could look like still feeling pretty alienated for most civilians, not meaningfully integrated with people. Tony, you mentioned the idea of having housing where civilians are integrated with veterans. And I wrote a 400-page book on military transition with a classmate of James's brother, Ponce. And Jason and I, we were the co-authors of that project. We really looked at, how transition is an identity impact, and it's something that can happen, many years after the formal military separation. Next slide.
Oops, sorry. Get back on screen here. There we go.
Okay, so here is another differentiator. We think it's important to celebrate the full spectrum and to support the full spectrum of veterans and first responders. But part of, a meeting like this is kind of saying, where do we fit in? Like, what is our unique lane and niche within the really supportive services that Gold Coast does and U.S.VETS do? And I think when I thought about this deeply, we have organizations that really throw a lot of like funding towards really successful, outstanding examples of people who have transitioned without apparent, challenges. I'm thinking here of people that are movie stars or sports figures or celebrities or politicians, that there's a lot of resources spent on that group, right? And then there's a lot of resources that are also focused, and necessarily so, on those who are visibly struggling, those who are unhoused, those who are really at the margins of society and really visibly struggling. And the missing piece, as I thought about this, is really what we do. We stood this up, James and I, and Love as well, to really support the silent majority of veterans. And these are people like Ponce Espinoza, who are maybe not going to forecast that they're suffering, maybe don't even know themselves that they're going to hit that wall. And they hit it at a point where, often they're very isolated. They just don't have the structure in place to really meet that challenge when it comes. And so we think that's a majority of the people that need services, not that all veterans need support, to be clear. Let me be clear what I'm saying. But that of the veterans who can benefit from supportive services, our premise is that the silent majority is the people who are kind of silently struggling, operational and functional. And here I draw from many years of work with first responders, where a lot of them are in chronic fight or flight overload. They are suffering in ways that they'll never let on. They don't talk about it. They're very isolated. They don't trust mental health providers. And we wanted to stand up an army of well-equipped peer mentors, resourced by the expertise that James and April bring and that I can add to really resource and support this team of mentors to build the structure and the tribe that's there when people hit problems. So that's kind of our, unique focus and lens around loss of identity, mission, and purpose, this distrust of systems. I mean, honestly, like I've reviewed research where, there are 10 types of people that veterans will go to. And just above lawyers, who are the bottom of the list, was mental health clinicians. So I've really learned a degree of humility around, people like me are not the first people that are going to interact. The emotional first responders are peers. And that's why we built this program around peers, because veterans and first responders rarely turn to clinicians first. Next slide.
Whoops.
Oh, good. Okay.
You
I
made it.
wanted to keep on track because Tony gave such a good example of that as any Chief Petty Officer would do. You were on point. So here we are. We had 20 minutes. James, back to you to kind of close us out.
All right. Well, thank you.
Mhm.
So, real briefly, our case manager, April Espinoza, and our new peer mentor coordinator, Frank Padilla, are also on the call. I just wanted to put a shout out to them and thank you for showing up and supporting our program and supporting this mission today. One of the things that Doc spoke of was basically the distrust of the system of, starting with attorneys, mental health professionals, those types of professionals. Those professionals are very much needed in our realm. They are resources that we also do as third-party referrals. So if we do recognize someone needs a higher level of care, we do have a tiered service program. We have tier one, where someone would need basic services like resume writing or resume review, kind of some basic mentoring, maybe helping finding a job, all the way through someone at tier four would potentially need referral out to a clinician. They're stable, we can mentor them. And then we used to have, when I designed the program, a tier five, it was like, do not pass go, get straight to services, right? So we limit ourselves to people who have stabilized themselves in one way or another. And we can also provide additional support services through third-party referrals or through the mentoring. Uh, Examples of referrals are ocean therapy with the Jimmy Miller Foundation, uh, wellness retreats with the like to Save a Warrior, which is an immersive program where a warrior goes there for 4 days. They turn in their phone and they're completely cared for, and they take on a healing process. Um, the Open Circle Foundation, which I'm actually going to be going to Alaska next week, at the end of next week, on a wellness retreat, partially for my own healing and also partially to further develop out our partnership. Now, I'm doing that on my own dime because I believe in the program enough to do that immersive research, I'll call it. It's also a documentary that may be coming to Netflix. So that was a part that I didn't foresee, but that those are the types of examples of our field work that we're doing. So we're filling that gap between appointments, which is so critical. We do occasionally hear tragic stories of veterans doing tragic things at VA facilities, but my point is that we're largely not in danger when we're at our appointments. It's the time in between. It's the quiet moments, the lack of tribe outside of those clinical meetings or professional meetings that we have. We all have a professional face. Colleen kindly complimented my suit earlier, but I also have my t-shirt and tank top moments, right? I now have long hair because I was committed to growing a ponytail when I someday retired, and I have a ponytail now. So there's those parts of me that are still very free and want to be free. But there's also the part of me that's very structured and enjoys the structure of this type of work. So I'll conclude with this. So how can you help us? Our call to action is to ask you to share our message, share our organization with others if you are unable to volunteer or donate. If you are able to volunteer, we would love to have you attend one of our very easy to attend and streamlined 2 hour cohort program that we have. We have a 2 hour program that we introduce people to our program. We also provide some clinical information that is also shares the foundation of our organization and kind of our philosophy. And then also, last but certainly not least, is donate. We need dollars to spend dollars to get reimbursed dollars. So we are, unashamedly still asking for donations. I know outwardly it appears this is a huge success to get a $2 million grant, but it does come with the caveat that it must be reimbursable. So at that point, if I have forgotten anything, I'm happy to answer any questions. And Colleen, that will conclude the presentation. Thank you so much for letting me present. And the QR code, like I said, does go to our website, which you can fill out a little connection card and it'll go directly to us. Thank you. Is my screen done sharing?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
And we can send out those QR codes and everything too as well with our follow-up email.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, April and Frank, for joining us as well. I don't know if you wanted to share anything or we'll open it up to the group.
Happy to answer any questions, or April or Frank, if you want to share any thoughts before we finish off.
Can I
No
just say
pressure.
one thing, like really quick? 20 minutes is such a short period of time, so please do reach out to us. We'd love to get to know you more if you're in Ventura County and have a follow-up meeting to really show you more of the things that we're doing in our vision. We have a bigger vision to really build a peer certification program that really robustly trains people and certifies them. So some of those deeper things that we're doing, we'd love to have some follow-up meetings. Please reach out to us if you'd be interested in exploring more.
Perfect. Yeah, Tina.
Yeah, I have a question. And I guess this is for both organizations, really, is the community colleges each have veterans centers on the college campuses. Can you talk a little bit about any partnerships with the community colleges and how that's working?
I'm happy to share. Yes, Doc and I actually ran a 5-week program with Ventura College last year, based on the 5 pillar program. It was very, in my mind, in my opinion, very successful. It was the very first time the college has partnered with someone to do that. We have really good relationships from that with Ellie at the Ventura College VRC. I also do have relationships with Moorpark College and Oxnard. We have yet to really set up a formal program. We have a relationship with Cal State Channel Islands, UCLA, and I'm also breaking in with CSUN. Since now that we've relaunched, we are also in connection with Cal State Northridge. So we're really trying to build out our local base. And you bring up a great point that the VRCs at the colleges are great avenues for us to connect with newly transitioned veterans. And we would love any sort of referrals and connections to them as well, if you have any.
Yeah, thank you, Tina. That was a highlight of the year for me last year. We were actually doing the program at Ventura Community College for Thanksgiving. They called it VETSgiving. And I remember doing a presentation around drawing from my background as a professor when I was doing work in a psychology department many years ago in personal growth, really sharing how veterans have some unique assets and abilities when they come back to college, and they can tap those assets. And I think that was such a hopeful message for them, not to say you're different or, but no, let's realize who you are and tap what you have to become successful in college and beyond. So I imagine that some of that kind of work will still be a piece of what we do as we do outreach and partnership with the community college system. But yeah, we'd love some intros.
Awesome. Yeah, I used to work at Oxnard College, so it sounds like if you're not connected with Leo there, let me know and I'll help. I'll put
Thanks.
my email in the chat.
Awesome. Thank
I
you.
would love that because I think the last person that I had contact there was Edith or Edna. I don't remember her name, but there was a lady there I was connected with, and it seems that she may not be there anymore.
Okay, yeah. I'll put my
And
email in the chat.
Go for it.
for U.S.VETS, we do have some contact with the Resource Center for veterans and who are going to school and who are, very close or in a close to homelessness situation. And they know how to reach us if there's someone that they have run in contact with, and they can say, "Hey, Tony, we've got a student here that may need some help." So, but if there are any other contacts, I am a clearinghouse on contacts. I want to have a Rolodex, an old school Rolodex that's continued on the next Rolodex, because we know we can't do this by ourselves. And just having the 3 groups here represents just how vast this is. And we know we need each other. So I'll take any and all contacts that you might have, Tina. Thanks.
Great question, Tina. Thank you. Linda.
I was wondering, do you also work the network of faith-based organizations? I know at my church in Camarillo, we have a large population of military that come through our doors from Port Hueneme and etc. So are you working in the faith-based community as well? Do you need context there?
I would welcome them. Yes, we are connected with Atmosphere Church right now. We started a veteran first responder group, but it is an area that we can use growth. So I would love to have opportunity to meet with your church and or any other faith-based organizations that you have.
So I go to Crossroads Church in Camarillo, which is frequently referred to as the Outlet Church near the Outlet Mall, but I will connect with you with a contact.
Yeah, that would be amazing. You'd be interested to know that the foundation of the program is based off Hebrews 13:1, which is let brotherly love continue. So we do welcome that.
Awesome.
Same for us. We'd love any contacts. We don't have anything right now we don't have anything that's ongoing. I know that for larger holidays like Thanksgiving or Christmas, we do hear from a few churches that want to adopt a veteran, which is a fantastic program. So any and all, we'd love to have it.
Tony, I have a question for you. What capacity are you at now since you have 200?
We have 120 units. Right now, we have 6 units, but they've already been matched. So the way that it works is we have what's called a by name list, and the county runs that. And there are all of the network providers that do that take care of vets who are experiencing homelessness. And what we do is we look at the next name that comes up, and we look at their needs, and we try to match them with the community that will help them thrive. So while sometimes we get people who will call up and say, "Hey, I'm in Kansas, I'm a veteran, and I want to come to Ventura Springs," we can't put them on a waiting list like that. We do have a few general affordable units that, if they do qualify, they can get in. But I will tell you that wait list is very, very long. But for the veterans that we know of here in county, all of the providers who have apartments or have homes, we basically just say, next man or woman up, and we get them ready. They go through a background check. They get screened, and as soon as they qualify, they've got a key within, I'd say, a week to 10 days from getting matched. And once they get matched, their caseworker will contact us, and we will let them know what the process looks like to get their application started and to go through the background check and to get them through housing for the county to make sure that all of the I's are dotted and all the T's are crossed so we can get them in as quickly as possible.
Thank you for that information.
Sure.
Thank you. And with the last few minutes, we also have Becky Kramer on the call. She's the Executive Director of Gold Coast Veterans Foundation, shares an office right down the hallway from us. And Becky, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you could share a couple words about Gold Coast with us.
Thank you, Kelly. So I wanted to jump in because I saw two of our partners on this call, and what we do here in the office in Camarillo is different, but we are very much part of that one team that Tony mentioned, just trying to meet the needs of our veterans at any age and stage of their post-military career. We've been in operation since 2010, just trying to be the safety net for veterans that fall between the cracks of other agency support. So we have basically 4 core pieces of our mission here. One is to provide access to VA claims and to help with benefits navigation. One is to give medical and mobility devices to veterans and their spouses or caregivers. Tony, you saw a picture there of our truck dropping off a couple scooters to his vets at Ventura Springs. So if there's a mobility scooter posse there, it's our fault because we've been giving out a lot of scooters to his vets at Ventura Springs who don't drive. We also provide transportation to essential appointments for vets that can't drive themselves and provide them with food security if they are in a position of being challenged to get groceries. We partner with Manna of Conejo Valley, the food pantry that's up there, to get them groceries. And then the other thing that we partner with, specifically with the one team approach with U.S.VETS and with the county, is on our mobile veterans outreach, which is where we go into the street and we reach veterans that are in encampments or on the street or living in their vehicles or RVs. And we start them off with stair-stepping into the bureaucracy of getting a housing plan and getting attached to earned benefits so that they can get housed. So it's helping them through that transitional to permanent housing piece of the puzzle that we work very closely with the other agencies on. So those are the things that we do here in our office. I just wanted your audience on the call to know that those are the programs that we offer to veterans. And again, we work very closely with our other partners and with the other agencies in the area. And we appreciate everything that James and Doc Springer and April are doing to provide a mental health support and veteran mentorship, because we see a need for that, and it's not something that we provide. So we're excited to be in a county that partners so very closely to take care of our vets, and just appreciate the opportunity to share a little bit about what we do. Thank you.
Thank you, Becky. It's such a great call to have the three organizations all together here and hear of the partnerships. It's wonderful. Yes, Meryl, I agree. Thank you for sharing. Meryl's on our board too. Thank you, Meryl, for joining the call.
Yes, thank you so much for the opportunity, Colleen, for on behalf of the Veteran Mentor Project and then our partners here too, we appreciate you all doing the same work in the community or similar work in the community for our population.
As a daughter of a Vietnam veteran, I'm very happy to be on this call and lead this. So thank you very much. We'll follow up with some emails with some information. You can reach out with any questions or connections. I know they're so appreciative of that, our partners. We don't have another Lunch and Learn scheduled. We're taking the rest of summer off. No, well, we're still working, but for Lunch and Learns, we're taking it off. So we'll meet back in the fall. Thank you so much for joining us today and stay cool, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks so
you.
much. Have a great day.
Thank you. And Tony, I don't know if you remember, but you were our first Lunch and Learn when COVID started with the Red Cross. You were our very first speaker. So full
Wow.
circle.
Full
Yeah.
circle. I love it. That's crazy. Wow.
It seems like decades ago, doesn't it?
Yes, it was
Yeah.
it was a lifetime ago.
Yeah. All right. Thank you,
Thank you so
everybody.
Thank
much.
you. Have a good day.
Enjoy. Yes.